Hello there and a warm welcome to you. Trust that you are safe and of course you have a pleasant day at work, at home or wherever you are at the time of this broadcast. This is Alumba Television and my name is Angel Liddy. And today we've got yet another interesting information for you. Yes, in the 2021 budget, news did break that Nigeria needed 66.6 million naira for rent. And the question is Aso Rock rented? Well, we don't know, but we'll give you the details of the gist in a moment. We'll also show you a video of response from Nigerians, and that is, of course, going to come from the shared screen. And right after that, we'll give you the news was trending. We'll give you headlines of what's happening today and, of course, details of the story. So stay right here, don't go away, and we'll take you through all of these in a moment. Let's have it. Okay, while we're working on that to come up, we will be looking at the details of these stories. So stay right here, don't go away. Alright, so over to our very first story. We have it here as Buhari's 66 million naira Aso Rock rent, 45 million naira sewage charges raise eyebrows in 2021 budget. The details. The State House, which includes the offices of the President and Vice President, has earmarked 66.6 million naira for the payment of Aso Rock rent and 45 million naira for sewage charges. These recurring and unexplained expenditures have again been captured in the 2021 budget. Other expenses in the State House budget include over 116 million naira for vehicle tires, while 436 million naira was earmarked for the phased replacement of vehicles and spare parts. The sum of 67.9 million naira was budgeted for motor vehicle fuel, despite making a provision for over 10 million naira for the purchase of giant HD copiers for the library and archive. The State House will spend 46 million naira and 22 million naira for the printing of non-security and security documents, respectively. The 2021 budget, dubbed Budget of Economic Recovery and Resilience, captures 13.08 trillion naira expenditure and 7.886 trillion naira revenue. This is the story on that wonderful budget. So let's see once again how we can show you all of that so that you can see it for yourself how the expenses will go in that budget. Alright, so here is Dr. Charles once again talking about the budget. And here we go, hear for yourself.
I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki, and I've been doing a series of talks concerning Nigeria PLC. I assume that Nigeria is a company. Nigeria is an investment. Nigeria is an investment. And I'm talking to the managers and the administrators of this country. I want to talk about insight. In psychiatry, one of the easiest ways to know whether a mad patient, a psychiatric patient, is likely to get well and take his or her medication is insight. I will illustrate insight with one little story. Two madmen were eating eba made from cassava on the street in Warri, and the eba fell into the gutter, greenish gutter then. And one of the madmen picked the eba and ate it from the gutter. And the other madman looked at him scornfully and said, two of us dey craze, but your own strong. Your own strong, oh. That means he has inside that two of them are mad, but that this one is madder, if there's a word like that, than himself. That one that knows the other one is madder than himself will get well quickly. There's something that amazes me in this country. Our leaders don't have a sense of shame. don't have an insight to the kind of embarrassment they are bringing to the nation and to the children of this nation, our youths. How come Nigeria is going to import petroleum products from Niger? Who gave Niger crude oil? Even if they have crude oil. Who built the refinery? Even if they built the refinery. How come our refineries are not functional? It is Niger that we are going to import petroleum products from. Are we not ashamed of ourselves? Don't we have a sense of decency? Don't we have a sense of responsibility that we need to go and import petroleum products from Niger? Those so-called elite in this country that are very rich, must we wait for Dangote's refinery? I'm sure it's a modular refinery that is producing that oil. I mean the petroleum products that we're going to import. How come our refineries are not functional, but we pay salaries? We pay salaries. When Atiku said he wanted to privatize them, people shouted. How come NNPC is not making profit, but they are losing money? The other thing that blew my head, how come we are budgeting for house rent for Aso Rock? Who owns Aso Rock? Where our president lives? Who owns it? They should let us know. Is it the company that built it that owns it? Are we leasing our presidential palace from somebody? Hope somebody has not sold Nigeria to one group of people, and we'll soon start paying rent to that company, to that person. I hope we have not sold this country to China. I hope we are not tenants in our own country, because the way they are treating us is as if we are tenants in our own country and we are owing rent. Somebody needs to explain some things to people like us. How come we need to pay rent in our presidential palace, our own country, the place where our president lives? Who are we paying the rent to? If we are not a shame, we dey shame. People say our mumu don't do. But una shame don't they shame for una shame. That you pay rent for your presidential palace. To who? Please explain, that you have to import petroleum products from Niger, and you have refinery Warri, LMA, you are not functioning. You have in Kaduna. Something is wrong with your brains. If una know they shame, with the shame for now, even shame don't they shame for now. God will bless Nigeria, but some of you, I don't know what will happen to you. I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I am angry at what I am seeing, and I'm ashamed at what I'm hearing and seeing in this country. I will come your way again. We'll still talk about Nigeria PLC. God bless you.
All right, so that's Dr. Charles Apoki, and he has expressed his concern over the country, Nigeria, and the rent Nigeria is paying concerning Aso Rock. All right, let's quickly look at Twitter. Let's get a response from Nigerians on this rent issue. All right, here we go. We can see this coming from North Must Be Safe. The State House, which includes the offices of the President and Vice President, has earmarked 66.6 million naira for the payment of Aso Rock rent and 45 million naira for sewage charges. These recurring unexplained expenditures have again been captured in 2021 budget. Okay, for your information, the Nigerian government says it will pay 66.6 million naira for rent on Aso Rock. Aso Rock is the official workplace and residence of the President. In the 2021 budget entitled Budget of Economic Recovery and Resilience, government earmarks money for payment of Aso Rock rent, and Nigeria pays 400.1 million as rent for Aso Rock Villa. Okay, so these are Nigerians just reacting, and this one says, this from Odera Ugu, when you hear FG is paying rent for Aso Rock, well, you never can tell what's going to happen next. And this one says, this from Lighthouse, does Nigeria actually pay rent for Aso Rock? Of course, it's worth asking. So people, these are stories that we've got for you. This one says that Nigerian government says they will pay 66.6 million naira for rent on Aso Rock. Left to me, oh, I don't want us to pay. Let's see if our landlord will throw Nigerian government out. And also, let's see who Nigerian government will be squatting with. Sorry, squatting with. That's comic there, okay? And this one is from Justice for hashtag Lekki genocide victims. You said you're fighting corruption, but you inserted Aso Rock rent into the budget waiting for implementation. The rent is going to whom? Has Aso Rock been sold to cronies and no one knows? And this one says from Flex Master, how far at Buhari? I hear say you sef dey pay rent for Aso Rock. Abi what it Naijani? Make una sha locate me for my own inheritance. Okay? So this one is from Sorosoke generation. Even Buhari sef dey pay rent for Aso Rock. Now who be the landlord? Okay, these are questions Nigerians are asking. And of course, we all are waiting for answers. And just like we told you that as soon as the answers drop, we will bring it to you. That means every update comes to you. Okay, so more on that is dropping. We see before you air hashtag NSAS. Remember, Aso Rock rent was budgeted for in 2021 budget. And who is collecting rent in Aso Rock? Seems like this matter is getting serious, oh. And then Agent of Justice, okay, oh. If Aso Rock is on rent, who knows if Nigeria is on rent too? Abe, who be Aso Rock landlord? Your quick note is important here. Sure, we all are now mad in this country, but these are responses from Nigerians concerning the rent issue of Aso Rock. And I'm thinking, who will Nigeria pay this rent to? I'm sure that's another question that you were asking as well. Well, we will bring you information on that when it drops, as the update drops. Elombe Television will hit you with it. All right, so let's move over to this news that we've got for you today. On the headlines, Abiodun Abele witness tells court how 1.2 billion naira from Dasuki was shared through 5 accounts. The choosing of President General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo should be cultural and not by political chess game. Ihekire. U.S. consular services reopens in Lagos and Abuja. First batch of coronavirus vaccines arrives UK. Donald Trump's press chief quits in apparent nod to defeat. And Benue Senate approves restoration of Mata, Mbagwa, Agasha constituencies. Liberian war crime suspect appears in court. Nasara said to implement National Livestock Transformation Plan. And Osibanjo to Lagos Art of Technology Conference. Nigeria's main contribution to the world is our people's imagination. Opinion Buhari is repressing human rights and getting away with it by Kolawole Olaniya. So let's get the details of the stories that you've had. And this is Liberian war crime suspect appears in court. Ali Kosaya is accused of murder, the recruitment of child soldiers, and rape. He fought against Liberia's leader, Charles Taylor, in the civil conflict notorious for its brutality. He later fled to Switzerland, where he was arrested in 2014 after evidence emerged of his alleged involvement in the deliberate killings of civilians, sexual violence, and act of cannibalism. Mr. Kosaya denies the charges. The case marks the first time war crimes charges are being heard by a civil court in Switzerland. The war crimes trial of former Liberian rebel leader Ali Kosaya for alleged atrocities committed during the civil war there is due to begin today in Switzerland. Mr. Kosaya is the first Liberian to face trial for crimes committed during the conflict in the country, AFP news agency reports. He has not commented about the accusations in court, but Reuters news agency quotes his lawyer as saying that he was not in the Liberia's Lofa County at the time when the alleged crimes were committed there. Mr. Kosaya's trial had been scheduled to begin earlier this year but was postponed due to the coronavirus pandemic. His alleged victims will not be able to testify due to COVID-19 restrictions and are expected to do so next year. He faces accusation of sexual violence, murder, cannibalism, recruitment of child soldiers, and forcing civilians to work in cruel conditions, which he denies. The civil war, which lasted from 1989 until 2003, led to the deaths of nearly 250,000 people, often at the hand of child soldiers. And we move on to the next. NASTRA set to implement National Livestock Transformation Plan. The details. Nasarawa State says it is set to implement the revised version of Ruga, a livestock ranching scheme tailored after the Fulani nomadic cattle rearing system, but now called National Livestock Transformation Plan, NLTP, initiated by the federal government. The state says the plan is to tackle farmers/herders clash in the state. The implementation plan has drawn key stakeholders in the state to brainstorm on how it would work in the state. Speaking during a 2-day program organized by Center for Democracy and Development, Special Advisor to Governor Abdullahi Suley on NGO and development partners, Munirat Abdullahi, who represented the governor, said the peace building has already been in place in the state. Munirat said government had already engaged the border state to ensure peace with the border communities. According to her, we are in the process of establishing peace agency. We will continue to partner with Center for Democracy Development, CDD, to ensure framework will be robust in the state. The special advisor also expressed optimism to be in the meeting, adding that Nasarawa State will ensure that everybody enjoyed lasting peace. Also speaking, the National Coordinator of Livestock Transformation Plan, NLTP, Mr. Chris Bacha, Nasarawa State is among the states that has keyed into livestock transformation plan. He explained that they brought in participants from Nasarawa, Benue, Jos, and North Central region to look at what is happening in the state. Osibanjo to Lagos Art of Technology Conference. Nigeria's main contribution to the world is our people's imagination. Although Nigeria has been known globally as one of the leading producers of crude oil, the reputation of the country in the near future will be based on the imagination and creativity of Nigerians, according to Vice President Yemi Osibanjo's son. Professor Osibanjo stated this in a virtual message to the 2020 Art of Technology Conference team, Smart Data, Smarter Lagos, today. According to Prof. Osibanjo, it is now evident that within the next decade, Nigeria will cease to be a country whose main contribution to the world is crude oil. The resources that we have, which are increasingly in high demand globally, are your capacity for innovation, your imagination, your creative content, and your highly adaptive solutions. Your minds and workspace are the refineries of the present and the future. We are finally embracing the true logic of true wealth. It is not being a primary producer. It is about value added. It's about maximally leveraging what you have. Technology, and in particular data, offers that incredible opportunity. The Vice President noted that as we contend with the challenges of providing the means of self-actualization for nearly 200 million people and one of the world's fastest growing populations, it is clear that we must marshal the resourcefulness and ingenuity of our citizens in the quest for development and growth. Developmental governance in the 21st century is about continuously deploying innovative solutions against our most complex challenges. Speaking about the adoption of innovative solutions to address some complex issues bordering on governance and the economy, the Vice President said that smart cities leverage data to make decisions across the board. Economic data, consumption data, demographic data, population data, health data are all important factors across all levels of government. We need to raise our capacity to harvest, track, and analyze data and ground policies in empirical evidence. He added that data is at the heart of developmental governance. Indeed, I would argue that governments need big data even more than the corporations need. Whether we are discussing urban planning and public administration or economic planning and security strategy, it is impossible to attain mastery over these fields without a healthy regard for data. Making reference to the measures adopted by the Buhari administration in leveraging the use of data, Professor Osibanjo said, in December last year, I inaugurated the steering committee for the Grid 3 Nigerian project. Grid 3 is a geo-referenced infrastructure and demographic data for development. It is a $50 million project in partnership with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Nigerian portal, which provides access to accurate, complete, and geospatially referenced data relevant to a variety of sectors, he added. On the deployment of technology and in addressing challenges associated with traffic control, general service delivery, and environmental management. The Vice President said technology can be a leveler, closing gaps in our society such as the rural-urban divide and bridging gaps in access to social services and broadening financial inclusion. Professor Osibanjo noted that this is why his administration is working to bridge the digital divide by increasing access to broadband with our National Broadband Plan, which was launched this year. The plan is aimed at achieving 90% broadband penetration by 2023. The plan will give special attention to undeserved areas when deploying telecom services. Opportunities crying out for smart solutions abound across various sectors of our society and economy. Citing examples of private companies leveraging technology to provide services in the health and related sectors, Professor Osibanjo said COVID-19 pandemic has taught us important lessons in the necessity of applying technology-enabled solutions to strengthen our health security architecture. Tools such as telemedicine can be deployed to deliver medical services to underserved and difficult to reach areas. We must also provide the right condition for more private sector organizations like Temi Giwa's Life Bank that have been working very hard on the distribution of medical supplies to expand their reach to other states and utilize technology like drones to deliver medical supplies faster and further, thereby saving lives beyond the main cities and in rural communities, the Vice President added. The Art of Technology Conference started last year and is organized annually by both the Lagos State government and the technology community with the purpose of facilitating multi-stakeholder discussions, exchanges, and collaborations among the data value chain as an enabler of smarter Lagos. And we have Abiodun Agbele witness tells quote how 1.2 billion naira from Dasuki was shared through 5 accounts. The sixth prosecution witness, PW6, Temitope Ishinkaye, in the trial of Abiodun Agbele's aide to former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, on Thursday, December 3, 2020, told the Federal High Court in Abuja, presided over by Justice Nnamdi Dingba, how the sum of 1.2 billion naira that came from the office of the National Security Advisor under Colonel Sambo Dasuki was shared out to 5 different accounts. Agbele is facing prosecution by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on money laundering charges to the tune of 1.2 billion naira. The said sum was alleged to be part of the 4.7 billion naira that was transferred from the in-press account of the ONSA. Led in evidence by prosecution counsel Wahab Shitu, Shinkaye, who was head of operations at Korea branch of Zenith Bank, recalled that the sum of 262.5 million was paid to Agbele on June 17, 2014, and that on the same date a payment of 100 million naira was processed for the fourth defendant, Spotless Investment Limited. He further disclosed that on June 18, 2014, 200,000 payment was processed for the Private Limited, and by the following day, June 19, 2014, additional 300 million was processed for the same company. According to him, the Private Limited again received 200 million on June 24, 2014, and on the same date, the final sum of 137 million naira was transferred to Fayose's account. Ishinkaye presented the certified documents relating to the transactions, which were admitted in evidence, stating that though he disbursed the sum, he knew nothing about where it was sourced. I don't know where the funds came from, but the payment instructions were given by our customer Abiodun Agbele in company of the branch head, Dr. Oluseye Alabi, and the zonal head, Dr. Abiodun Oshele, and 3 others, the witness stated. Justice Dingba joined the case till February 25th and 26th, 2021. And the U.S. Consular Services reopened in Lagos and Abuja. The United States of America Embassy has reopened in Lagos and Abuja after it was initially closed down because of #EndSARS protests. The U.S. Embassy during the protest issued a statement informing the general public that the consular offices in Lagos and Abuja have been temporarily shut down until things return to normal. However, the embassy, in a latest development, said the offices have reopened in Lagos and Abuja. The embassy said this is to formally notify you that the Embassy of the United States of America is gradually reopening visa services in Lagos and Abuja embassies since 30th November 2020. According to the official website of the embassy, student visas and a limited number of B1/B2 visa applications are now accepted, with the number increasing with time. First batch of coronavirus vaccine arrives UK. The first batch of coronavirus vaccine arrived in the UK, stored at an undisclosed location. The Pfizer-BioNTech shots will be distributed to vaccination centers around the country. European and US experts have criticized the UK authorization as being too rushed, though US infectious disease expert Anthony Fauci later walked back his remarks. The UK's medicine regulator has said it's approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine without compromising safety after America's top infectious disease experts questioned its level of scrutiny. The White House chief immunologist told Sky News he believes the British approval of the vaccine has been done in a much less deep way than would have been done in the US. Dr. Anthony Fauci said he believes the data clearly shows that the vaccine is safe and effective, but that the speed in which it had been passed by the UK health regulator would have prompted skepticism in the US about its safety. On Wednesday, the UK became the first country in the world to approve the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID vaccine. Dr. Fauci told Monaghan his comments about its testing in the UK were not meant as a criticism, but he said, "I think it's very important for people to realize there are different levels of stringencies and scrutiny when you look at the data." And Donald Trump's press chief quits in apparent note to defeat. The news broke on a day that began with warnings by a conservative pundit that Trump's final weeks in power could be his most dangerous, and the fallout from a 46-minute speech on social media branded as one of his most dishonest ever. The president continues to rail against the result of the 2020 presidential election. While he refused to tell reporters whether he had any confidence in U.S. Attorney General William Barr, the Justice Department announced that it is suing Facebook for discriminating against Americans in its hiring practices. Meanwhile, first daughter and White House advisor Ivanka Trump has hit out at the vindictive probe regarding her hotel work around the time of her father's inauguration, calling it a waste of taxpayers' dollars. Her older brother Donald Jr. is reportedly planning his future as a potential head of the National Rifle Association. Trump's legal team has meanwhile suffered another embarrassing defeat at the Wisconsin Supreme Court, which has refused to hear the case alleging election fraud, as the Wall Street Journal. The flagship newspaper of record from Rupert Murdoch's new call warns that the president's spurious fraud claims could risk the GOP's critical Senate elections in Georgia. And finally, Benue State Senate approves restoration of Mata Mbagwa Agasha constituencies. The Senate on Wednesday approved the restoration of Mata Mbagwa State constituency from the Ushongo constituency as directed by the Federal High Court. This was just as it is approved the restoration of Agasa State constituency by altering the boundaries of the Central Guma State constituency to create two state constituencies. They are Agasa State constituency comprising of Shagav, Nzorov, Kambe, and Abinshi council wards, and Guma State constituency comprising Uve, Mbadwe, Mbabai, Mbawa, Yiv, and Mbaye council wards. The approval for the restoration of Mata State constituency from Ushongo State constituency comprised of Ikov 2, Mbagwa 07, Mbagwaza 08, Mbaye 10, and Uang 11. The Senate accordingly urged the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to comply with its resolution and effect same in the next State House of Assembly election after the current life of the Benue State House of Assembly in compliance with Section 115 of the 1999 Constitution. These were resolutions reached sequel to the consideration of a motion sponsored by Senator Gabriel Suswan, PDP, Northeast. And this is where I call it a wrap for today on the news. And to welcome you way again, I'd like to tell you that you should hit the subscription button and do subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and also follow us on Instagram. And you can, of course, visit us to get stories of all we've told you today and even in previous broadcasts, even of what will be coming next. Until I come your way again, this is Angel Lady, and you have been listening and watching Elimba Television. Stay safe and bye now.